through. I paint pictures with my words, tangled thoughts and feelings. Growinggames.com, Rory Favreau, tangled thoughts and feelings. Hey there guys, and welcome to the Growing Gamers podcast. My name's Rory Favreau, coming to you live and direct from Geelong, Victoria, Australia. I hope you're all well, and thank you so much for subscribing if you have. Give us a little bit of a like if you like what I'm doing, and I guess if you don't, just give me the big thumbs down like I recently copped when I didn't like an Xbox controller. Well, I would like to say thank you to everyone who's joined the Facebook group at the Growing Gamers podcast page, and also you can subscribe to the show if you want to hear just the audio version on the Apple Podcast directory. So you can certainly jump in there, tell me what you think, email the show at thegrowinggamers@gmail.com. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. We've got a movie review. I've been doing a few of those lately during the isolation period. Of course, there's a lot more time to watch movies, play games, have lots of fun. I think before I jump into that, into the movie review, have you guys been doing what I've been doing and jumping in and playing some games that maybe you didn't quite finish the way you wanted to? I know I'm doing that myself. I recently got the platinum on Ghost Recon Wildlands, and that was a fucking grind. I will tell you right now, for free. I'll tell you that for free. And now I've jumped back into Dying Light. I've completed the game, just mucking around, just playing the game and enjoying it. Three times I've finished it. And I just thought, you know what, this cheeky little bugger, it deserves a platinum. So I'm grinding it now. It isn't that painful though, because a lot of the stuff I've got to do is still, mission based, so side quests. I've got to get all the side quests done. So I've been ploughing through that, having lots of fun. And I do hope that you guys have had the opportunity to go through and play some games that maybe you haven't touched for a while, that you want to complete if you're a completionist like myself. I don't do it to everything, but games that I've had a lot of fun with, I certainly do make the extra effort to crack on in, have a shot at it, and see if I can get that 100% completion. I don't know why. It's just I think if a game's that good, I should explore everything that it has to offer. Some of the things are monotonous. Get that word right, Tori. Some of the games are monotonous. However, or impossible. Or for someone like me, anyhow, some of them, like, you've got to play it on a nightmare mode or something like that. Hell no, son. I'm not doing that. But I've been loving the games. There's been some reports recently, if you were a PlayStation gamer, predominantly like myself, you would be aware that there was a beta, I think, for the 7.5 update. It did cause some problems with some people's library. Like, it had to rebuild the library, the database every single time that you did get into your PlayStation. There was something weird about that. But I do hope if you're affected by the beta run of that the alpha, which did come out just recently, has corrected that problem for you, because I can imagine nothing more frustrating than that occurring. In any case, let's just jump straight into it. Today's movie review is a movie called The Raid. Now, this is a bit confusing because when I was doing the shows in the car, I actually had the camera face around the other way so I could see myself. But now I've moved into my new place like I told you I was going to, so I can record inside again. But as a result, I can't see what's on the screen. Hopefully I've lined it up properly. Otherwise, I have wasted so much of yours and my time, and this will just be an audio show. But The Raid is an Indonesian movie. Basically, it is non-stop martial arts galore, beautifully choreographed fight scenes. This is the Blu-ray edition. It's the double pack that I was loaned by a friend of the show, Tommy Lanyon. So he loaned me this one to watch. I was going to get it out on DVD. He said, check it out on Blu-ray, the double pack. It's one that you can't get anymore like this, I believe, at least not in Australia. But you can get the movies quite readily still on, just adjust my seating there, professionalism. You can get this movie and enjoy it on DVD. It's still readily available. So anyhow, made in Indonesia. This is just absolutely phenomenal. So there's an elite force of policemen. They're going into this multi-story building that is totally taken over by the underworld. So basically, but the weird thing is there's also poor people who live in the same building, but it's like drug dealers and, murderers, all the worst of the worst have all congregated in one spot, all under the influence of one major guy. I was trying to see if his name is actually in there, but no. So basically, I think his name was Tucker from memory. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Won't be the first or last time that I am incorrect, okay? Oh my God, seriously, I was loving the fact that the most recent thing, like, you know, you've got your trolls on YouTube and the like, and they've started calling me the boomer. And I don't think that people from other areas realize that we find that fucking hilarious. Australians, our sense of humor is way different to anyone, anywhere. And most of the time you can say what the fuck you want and we will think it's funny. You know, I'm out there, you know what I look like. So you can call me a boomer if you want, but I was born in 72 despite the aged beard on my face. Okay, so I'm a Gen X. But you can call me a boomer because it's fucking hilarious. It's like 3 of the comments now did the boomer route. And I felt like I was fucking Captain Boomerang from the Flash DC Comics. But no, boomer, because I don't like a controller. Though some of you did get in touch with me and tell me that you didn't like it either. Anyhow, back to the raid. So these guys, they do have to make their way through this shitty apartment building all the way up to the top floor that's being monitored by the criminal mastermind. And the fighting, one by one, they get picked off because basically there are lookouts and sentries all over the place, and they essentially dominate the area. And through sheer force, overwhelming numbers, rats in a hole kind of scenario, and heavily armed, they pick off these elite forces one by one, leaving our hero to make his way up and fight for what's right. Twists and turns are plenty in terms of the storyline. But storyline aside, even if there wasn't one, this movie is so filled with amazing fight scenes. They are brutal. There's hand-to-hand combat, weapon combat, as in knives, and of course, you know, bats and the like. It's done beautifully. I would not even dare to think of how many of the stuntmen in this movie. My understanding is that most of the guys in the film were like quite accomplished martial artists, but just the amount of fighting, physicality, attention to detail by the fight choreographers, let's get that out as one word, guys. Basically, they are just phenomenal. The whole time round, you're just on the edge of your seat as there is just human bodies being battered the whole way around in just such beautifully thought out, well-constructed scenes. There are moments of savagery, though. If you've got a weak stomach, there's going to be moments when you see damage inflicted on the human body by another person that just makes you go, fucking hell, can I watch? But you better, because this movie is just sensational. The subtitles certainly keep up. It is a subtitle movie. It is just so very, very enjoyable. I can't rate it highly enough. Don't worry if you can't get this on Blu-ray like Tom got for me, because the film on here, I don't know how it was shot or when it was shot. It was actually done, it looks like handled by Western Production, but in Indonesia. But the film is grainy, very grainy. So for those purists who want pristine, you're not going to get it. Even this issue, I don't know if it was mastered for Blu-ray. It certainly does not look like it. So expect some grain in the movie. It does add to the grittiness and the overall feel of it. The actual sounds, the sound effects of the fighting are well done, though some of the punching blows, whoever dubbed those in, they are a little bit repetitive, but never to the point that they will get in the way of your enjoyment of what you're about to encounter in this wonderful movie. I really hope that you do find time to watch it. I'm hoping that by doing this, I'm able to illustrate to you guys, and I'm sure that most of you do, because if you're watching the show, then you've got obviously time to open your mind to new things. But I am really hoping that a lot of you don't mind the fact I've been reviewing a lot of subtitle movies later. I'm purely doing it that I can introduce you to something different that you may not have seen before, or may not be where you get your movies from, because they don't stock subtitle movies or the like. And I hope that I am giving you movies that you'll go, you know what, that actually sounds a bit interesting and I would like to give that a shot. So this is The Raid. It is phenomenal. I am going to watch The Raid 2 soon, and I'll talk about that then. I don't want to give away any of the twists or plot turns with the actual raid itself, but there is a nice little twist in there that does add to the sense of tension, the sense of purpose, why they keep fighting against all odds. But the one thing I do have to ask all the bad guys in that movie, your apartment block's a fucking shithole. Why do you want to live there? You like to live in that apartment block, you would have to be the most unsuccessful motherfucker running a gang in Indonesia, in my opinion. Just saying. But the grimminess and griminess and the utter dankness of the place that they're fighting through does add to the tension. It does add to the lighting. It allows for a lot of different lighting and juxtaposition of characters, and it does make it one heck of a ride. Try The Raid. I really enjoyed it. I've said that before and I will say it again. Try The Raid. I really enjoyed it. I've said that before and I'll say it no more. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Chuck me a like if you can be so inclined. Share it with your friends. Get the word out there. And I'll also, for those of you who just caught this and you go, look, I can't watch this idiot's podcast video show all the time. I just let it slip. These also get released as a audio podcast that you can listen to. None of them go too long, so you can easily just listen to it as you're driving to work or doing whatever. Having a morning shit, you could fit that in. You could fit a show in if you're going for a while and you got comfortable and you're on the seat for a bit, I guess. Otherwise, it might take that little bit too long. You may have to listen to it in the car as well, or while you make your coffee. Don't know why I think you'll listen to this in the morning, but if you do, good morning to you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.